Her laugh sliced through the music like a blade I didn't see coming. We were dancing, or pretending to, at Amanda Ross' birthday party in downtown Chicago, October 12, 2024, a Saturday night I'll never forget. The Peninsula Hotel's rooftop bar was packed with her friends, colleagues from Whitmore-Cooper Creative, people who thought they knew us. I leaned in to kiss my wife, Claire. Simple gesture, the kind married people do. Her response wasn't. "I'd rather kiss my dog than kiss you." She said it loud enough for every champagne flute to freeze mid-clink. The room erupted. Laughter rolled through the crowd like thunder. Amanda nearly choked on her mojito. Tyler Hayes, my assistant, smirked from the bar. Even the DJ turned to look. I stood there, hands still around her waist, feeling the bass thump through the floor like a countdown timer. Everyone expected me to crumble, to slink away embarrassed. Instead, I smiled. A calm, quiet smile that made them laugh even harder, thinking I was too weak to respond. But they misread the silence. It wasn't weakness, it was calculation. Because by the time that music resumed, my revenge had already begun. And when they finally heard my answer 3 weeks later at the Women in Business Gala, not a single person in that ballroom would be laughing. I'm Nathan Cooper, and this is the story of how one public humiliation became the blueprint for the most satisfying takedown of my life. Before that night, I thought Claire and I were unbreakable. We met 12 years ago at Northwestern University, both in the MBA program, both hungry to build something meaningful. She was brilliant, the kind of woman who could quote Nietzsche while stealing fries off your plate and somehow make both feel profound. We clicked instantly. By 2016, we were married. By 2020, we'd launched Whitmore-Cooper Creative, a boutique marketing agency in Chicago's West Loop. We specialized in brand storytelling for mid-sized tech companies. Within 3 years, we hit $2.3 million in annual revenue. The business was valued at $8.5 million. I held 58% ownership, Claire held 42%. On paper, we were partners. But somewhere along the way, maybe year 7, maybe earlier, the woman I married disappeared. Her jokes turned sharper, her eyes grew colder. Every dinner became a performance, every laugh rehearsed, and I was always the punchline. At client dinner, she'd mock my presentation style. At family gatherings, she'd joke about how I still dressed like a grad student. Her friends would laugh. I'd smile. Because that's what you do when you love someone, right? You absorb the hits. But I wasn't just absorbing anymore. I was observing. Because the longer someone plays cruel, the more they reveal what they're afraid of losing. The first clue wasn't dramatic. It was a smell. March 2024. Tyler Hayes walked into my office wearing Claire's perfume, Chanel No. 5, the one I bought her for our 8th anniversary. He brushed it off when I mentioned it, said she'd hugged him after a client dinner I supposedly skipped. I didn't argue, just nodded, filed it away. Then came the late-night texts. The girls and I are out again, except she forgot to turn off location sharing. The tag said Waldorf Astoria, Chicago, not the wine bar she'd mentioned. When she got home at 2:47 a.m., I didn't confront her, didn't shout, didn't even ask where she'd been. I just kissed her forehead and went to bed, because anger clouds precision, and I needed clarity. For the next 6 months, I became a shadow in my own life. I watched, documented, prepared. One night in late August, I sat alone in my office on the 14th floor of our building, staring at our wedding photo on the desk. Clara's smile looked fake now, even in memory. The woman in that picture was gone. Maybe she'd never existed. So I whispered to myself in that empty office, I won't confront. I'll plan.
Move 1. Financial control. Our business ran on accounts I personally managed. Claire handled creative. I handled operations and finance. She never bothered learning the back-end systems, said numbers bored her. That indifference became my weapon. I began quietly rerouting her expense reimbursements into a holding company I'd set up under my name. Every business lunch she charged, every conference she attended, every client gift, technically legal, categorized as operational reserves. Over 4 months, I moved $127,000. She never noticed. Move 2. Information gathering. I hired Marcus Chen, a forensic IT consultant who specialized in corporate security. Cost me $8,500, worth every penny. Within 1 week, Marcus delivered an encrypted drive containing 6 months of Claire's text messages, her email correspondence with Tyler, voice memos where she laughed about how easy Nathan is to manipulate, photos from hotel rooms I'd never seen, calendar entries labeled TC, Tyler initials. I listened to one voice memo in my car outside our house. Her voice, light and mocking. "He actually thinks I respect him. It's adorable." I sat there in the dark, engine off, hands gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles went white. Then I took a breath, saved the file, and drove inside like nothing happened. Because emotion is expensive, and I was saving mine for the right moment. Move 3. Social Optics. Claire had been nominated for the Women in Business Leadership Award, a gala event held every November at the Peninsula Hotel. The irony was delicious. She was receiving an award for empowerment through partnership while actively destroying ours. The event drew 300 guests, CEOs, investors, journalists. Patricia Winters from Chicago Business Journal would be there, Claire's favorite columnist, the one who'd written glowing profiles about our power couple dynamic. I made sure Patricia got a front row seat. Then I volunteered to sponsor the event's AV production. Cost me $15,000. They were thrilled. I was strategic. Move 4. Timing. The gala was scheduled for November 8th. Our 9th wedding anniversary was November 11th. I let Claire believe I'd planned something romantic, a surprise gift, maybe a weekend trip. She played along, probably relieved I was still oblivious. But I wasn't oblivious. I was patient. And patience, I'd learned, is the cruelest form of power.
November 8th, 2024. The night everything ended. I spent the afternoon at the Peninsula Hotel, overseeing the AV setup personally. The tech team thought I was just a meticulous sponsor. I let them think that while I uploaded the files Marcus had prepared. 43 slides, 7 video clips, 1 legal document, all password protected, under my control. Claire arrived at 6:52 p.m. in a silver dress, the same Armani gown she'd worn to the Waldorf that night in March. She kissed my cheek. "You look handsome." I replied, "You look beautiful. Beautiful and doomed." Tyler arrived 10 minutes later, keeping his distance. He nodded at me from across the room. I nodded back. He had no idea his face would be on a projector screen in 90 minutes. The ballroom filled with Chicago's business elite. Patricia Winter sat front row, notepad ready. The energy was electric, celebratory. At 8:45 p.m., the awards ceremony began. Then came Claire's category, Leadership Through Partnership. She took the microphone. Her speech was flawless. When Nathan and I started Whitmore-Cooper Creative 5 years ago, we made a promise: mutual respect, absolute trust, and unwavering partnership. She turned toward me. "This award belongs to my partner in every sense, my husband, Nathan Cooper. Thank you for believing in me." The crowd applauded. She blew me a kiss. I caught it and smiled. Then the host announced, "Nathan Cooper has prepared a special tribute video." I walked to the stage, looked at Claire. "You're right. Leadership is about truth and trust. Tonight, I want to show everyone what those words mean to you." Her smile faltered. I signaled the AV booth. The lights dimmed. Slide 1, a text message. Claire to Tyler, March 15th. "He's working late again. Come over at 9. The room gasped. Slide 2, Tyler to Claire. "Does he suspect anything?" Claire's response, "Nathan, no. He's too trusting. It's almost sad." Slide 3, a photo. Claire and Tyler in a hotel room, champagne raised. Timestamp,
May 22nd, her girls' spa weekend. Patricia Winter stopped writing. Amanda Ross stared, mouth open. Slide 4, a voice memo. Claire's laugh. He actually thinks I respect him. It's adorable how clueless he is. Her voice played through the ballroom speakers. Claire turned to me. Nathan, stop this, please. I didn't respond. More messages, more photos, more lies in timestamps and pixels. Then came the final slide. A legal document filled the screen. Notice of partnership dissolution. Effective immediately, removal of Claire Whitmore-Cooper's ownership stake in Whitmore-Cooper Creative pursuant to Clause 14B, material breach of fiduciary duty. Result, 42% ownership share valued at $3.57 million forfeited. Authorized by Nathan Cooper. Date, November 7th, 2024. Silence. Just the projector's hum. Claire grabbed the podium, tears streaming. I stepped closer. Consider this, I whispered, the kiss you didn't want. I took the microphone. True leadership isn't about words on stages. It's about choices made in private. Thank you.
The silence that followed was deafening. Then, something unexpected happened. Someone started clapping. Slow, deliberate applause from the back of the room. Then another person joined, and another. Within seconds, half the ballroom was applauding. Not for Claire's award, but for the moment, for truth, for justice served cold. The other half sat frozen, unsure how to process what they'd just witnessed. Claire stood at the podium, mascara streaking down her face, hands trembling. She tried to speak, but no words came. Just broken gasps and the weight of 300 pairs of eyes judging her. Tyler had already disappeared through the side exit, abandoning her the moment the first slide appeared. The assistant who'd helped destroy my marriage didn't even have the courage to face the consequences. I didn't look back as I walked through the ballroom doors. Didn't stop when Amanda called my name. Didn't pause when Patricia Winters tried to ask for a statement. I just kept walking, through the lobby, past the valet stand, into the October night air that felt impossibly clean after months of breathing lies. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Claire calling. I declined it. It buzzed again immediately. Declined. A text appeared. Nathan, please, we need to talk. I powered off my phone and drove. Not home. Home was just a structure filled with ghosts of who we used to be. Instead, I drove east on Lakeshore Drive until I reached North Avenue Beach, parked my car facing Lake Michigan, the same shoreline where Claire and I used to watch sunsets back when we were Northwestern students planning our future. I rolled down the window. November wind cut through the car, sharp and cold. The city skyline glittered behind me, all those lights representing lives being lived, dreams being chased, betrayals being discovered. It was 10:37 p.m. Somewhere back at the peninsula, the gala was probably still unraveling. Guests would be gossiping, Patricia would be writing her story, Claire would be trying to salvage something from the wreckage. But I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was thinking about the weight that had finally lifted. For 18 months, I'd carried the knowledge of her betrayal like stones in my pockets, getting heavier with each new lie discovered. And now, gone. All of it. I didn't feel joy. Joy would have been too simple, too clean. What I felt was peace. The kind that comes when you stop pretending, stop hoping things will change, and finally accept what's true. My phone powered back on eventually. 17 missed calls, 32 text messages. I didn't read them. Instead, I opened my voice recorder and spoke into the night. To anyone listening to this, who's ever been made to feel small by someone who promised to lift you up? Here's what I learned. Silence isn't weakness. Patience isn't acceptance. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply stop playing their game. I saved the recording. Took one last look at the lake where young Nathan and Claire had once believed in forever. Then I whispered the truth she'd never understand. Love dies loudly, but respect dies in silence. I started my car and drove toward whatever came next. So here's my question for you. Have you ever stayed quiet when someone disrespected you publicly, only to realize later that silence gave you power they didn't expect? What would you have done in my position? Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I'm Nathan Cooper, and this has been my story. If this resonated with you, if it made you think about the difference between reacting and responding, I'd love to hear about it below. Hit that like button if this story struck a chord. It really helps the channel reach people who might need this message. And if you're new here, welcome to Hidden Hearth, where we explore stories about calculated justice over impulsive revenge, about strategic silence over empty noise, about building yourself up instead of tearing others down. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest stories about respect, redemption, and the power of patience. Until next time, remember, the best revenge isn't loud, it's inevitable. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.